G'day guys, Lemon Eating Cow here, and today we are starting a new series called, oh well, not really called, but anyway, we're playing Dragon's Dogma, The Dark Arisen on PlayStation 4 Pro. This is also out on Xbox One at the moment, and it also has been out on PC via Steam for quite a while now. All the versions are really good. These ones are more optimized for the console, and from what I've seen, they function so very well. They're really good from what I've seen on the console so far. But also the Steam version is still good because you can mod it and do extra things to it, but this one is definitely more user-friendly. So I've been poking around a bit, so I'm going to start a brand new game. I still intend on doing the Final Fantasy playthrough, but I'm going to just... we'll do this initial episode and then we'll see where it goes from there. But I do intend on doing a full playthrough of this game because it is amazing. I absolutely love this game. I've played many hours of it, and it is so good. It does have... It can kind of be hard to get into. Yeah, we'll go through that as we play. I'm going to start on easy mode just to give it like a, you know, a problem-free entrance into it. But I will be playing my full playthrough on normal mode, more than likely. Oh, I'm pumped. I'm really excited, actually. I really am. G'day to everybody in the chat there too. So this is like a bit of a tutorial kind of thing. It gives you a bit of an oversight of it. Also, I wanted to start off by saying a very big thank you to Rhea Roberts, who just became a Moogle. So thank you very much, Rhea. I'll re-spam the little alert there. But thank you very much. It means amazing and welcome. Well, it means a lot, and welcome to the Moogles. Enjoy your lemon. This game actually uses... Lighting is a very important thing in this. When it's like, it's not like Final Fantasy where you're like, oh, it's going to be night, I'm going to have to fight some demons. When it's night or dark in this, it is incredibly dark. Like, it is very dark. So, yeah. It's an action role-playing game. The controls are, in my opinion, almost perfect. Almost perfect. They're really good, the controls. Stamina can be a bit of an issue. You have to manage your stamina bar, which is down on the left-hand side of the screen. But... yeah, amazing game. Like, the visuals and everything are so good. Dude, it is so good to be back in this world. What a fantastic game, it really is. But like I said, the first time I actually played it, I didn't like it at all. When I first picked it up, I was like, this is terrible. I actually returned it to the store. And then I kept on thinking about it over the days after that, and I was like, no, actually, I really want to try that. And I picked it up again and gave it some effort, and it was, so good. So good. Anyway, this is the Rift Stone that you use for summoning pawns. P-A-W-N, by the way. Very attractive pawns. And they will act as your companions, and we'll explain a little bit later on, but... basically, you can share your pawns with your friends, and they act as like online companions, and it's a really good system. So let's beat the crap out of some monsters. You start off as like a fighter class, which has a sword and shield, but later on you can choose your vocation as well, between like a mage, a rogue, basically, or an assassin, and a fighter class. So stamina does play a pretty huge role in battle as you use the different. As you use your different skills, it depletes your stamina. Jumping, sprinting, all that depletes stamina. And you really have to keep an eye on it. So the UI looks a little bit everywhere at the moment, but you can really clean it up with a few options. You can actually even get rid of the button layout down in the bottom right as well. So you can tailor it pretty much to what you need. Oh man, the monsters... The monsters in this game are just fantastic. Oh, there's a dude in there. I don't know if we can rescue that dude, but anyway. Have fun, mate. Oh, we can. Let's do it. The tutorial, as far as I know, nothing actually impacts the main game, so if you can, just blitz through it. But it is also, it gives you a decent look at the different mechanics in the game and things, so... Harpies, terrible, terrible things are harpies because they fly around like mad women. You can see there that my pawn is using the taunt skill, so it'll make enemies attack them. And this has a really good grappling system. So if you press R2, you can kind of grapple onto things. You can hold, you can even grab your own pawns. So you can do that to enemies as well. And while you're holding them, your pawn will actually run up and stab them and do extra damage for them. So there's quite a bit of tactics and stuff you have to use with your pawns and grappling and stuff. You can also pick up and throw items, which is good fun when you're using explosive barrels. And yeah, generally you're going to be fighting a lot of goblins and things, but later on you get to take on some amazing like chimeras and drakes and dragons and cyclopses and ogres and all these awesome like kick-ass enemies. It's really, really good fun. I'll get to a little bit of section. We'll get through the tutorial and then I'll consult chat for a little bit. But yeah, I want to get through the tutorial first. And this game's very heavy on tactics. Like, generally, if you come up against, say, a harpy, if you use a fire spell on them, it'll actually burn their wings, so they'll fall to the ground. So it's important to have a good mix of the different elements, so you can, like, debilitate the different enemies. You can also grab onto them. Say if I jump on them and press the grapple button, I can actually hold them on the ground so they won't be able to take back off. And my pawns can kind of do their work while I'm doing that. You can also grab them mid-flight like that. If you're a very fat character, you can kind of drag them down to the ground. Your character's weight actually impacts those things, so it's... I don't want it to, like, I'm not trying to make it sound overwhelming or anything with all these different stats and things to consider, because in the end it's really quite fun, but there's so much to look into and delve into. It's really good fun. So let's just blow past these harpies and we'll get onto a really cool fight. Arisen! So we are the Arisen. That's how they refer to you most of the game. This won't be our character, we actually get to design one, but yeah, this is just how it works for now. Oh man, such good memories getting back into this game, so... Boom! So here's a Chimera. And these things, big monsters like this, are going to make up a big part of the game. They start off as bosses, but then towards the end, they're just pretty much everywhere. So, yeah. And each of them have tactics to kill them. So this guy has a goat on his back, a snake for a tail, and a lion head. But a good tactic to do here is you jump up on his tail. You can just grapple the enemy, and you can crawl all over their body, which consumes stamina. And we're going to try and cut his head off. Cut the snake's head off anyway. There it goes. Just fell off. And by grappling, it depletes stamina, so you can only do it for a limited amount of time. And you have to worry, some of the enemies kind of shake you off. So you have to preserve your stamina and make sure you don't do that. So now that his snake can't strike us... Oh shit. We're actually going to try and take care of the goat. The goat casts spells. So if you can take him out, you can take out a lot of his arsenal. So we'll try and take out the goat. But a lot of these enemies in the game will have tactics like, you say if you can hit their legs enough, if it's a big tall ogre or cyclops, if you hit their legs enough, they can fall over, and then you can hit them in the eye when they fall on the ground, and there's cool little tactics like that. There we go, we got the goat. My stamina's nearly out. Your stamina's not too bad as long as it doesn't run out fully. If it runs out fully, you'll actually have to stop and regen your stamina, which is not a good way to be. Oh, bit of raw there. But the enemies, they truly, really feel epic. It's a really good experience. And I think it is only... It might be 29 American dollars at the moment on the PSN, I think. So the amount of gameplay you will get out of this, $30 is nothing at all. It really is not. Actually, The female pawn, her voice kind of sounds like Psylocke off X-Men. X-Men. The, like X-Men Children of the Atom. So this guy's fairly basic because he's just the, like the tutorial lion, so they can't make him go too hardcore or anything. He's nearly down. You can actually die to this guy if you want to skip through this tutorial really quick. You can actually just kill yourself on this lion and it'll skip the tutorial, but yeah. Later on, I won't be able to just face tank these guys. They rip you to shreds. There we go, we nearly got him. But some of the hunts really feel epic, and the music as well just totally adds to it and just gives you that sense of being like a, well, a monster hunter, really. It really has that Monster Hunter vibe. It is made by Capcom as well, so it definitely has that vibe to it. So, that is a tutorial. Which is pretty good. I like it. It's good stuff. Excuse me. And countless lifetimes come to pass. The delightful and ever novel pleasure of a useless occupation. Sounds like a YouTuber's career. Oh, I haven't seen this in a while. I skipped it last time I saw it, so it's a good FMV though. There's a dragon that's on most cover art and wallpapers and things you'll see of Dragon's Dogma. This game was originally made back in like 2006 or something. I think it was on the PS3. But then it got a re-release of... was it 2006? That seems way too early, right? But then Dark Arisen was like an expansion pack, pretty much, for it. I don't know. 2006 seems way too... I don't know when it came out. Oh, it was released 2012, of course. 2006 is way too early. It was released in 2012 originally, but then they did an update for it with the Dark Arisen kind of expansion to it. Really good. They changed a lot of things, though, between them, and some are not so good. But the character creator, I just released a guide yesterday on how important the character creator can be. I usually go with a male. Your weight and your height will actually affect different stats in the game, so... it's actually kind of important to consider those. I'm going to go with Lemon Cow just to get fully immersed in the RP world. Sir Lemon Eating Cow? Yeah, Lemon Cow will do. And then you use a moniker for when you're playing online, just in case you have an offensive name or something, they take you by your moniker. There's actually, I think if we look in here, there's actually Street Fighter names. So there's Cammy, I think there, Balrog is there, Blanca maybe? I don't know. But Benimaru, there's all different Capcom names, kind of nods to different Capcom games in there, so it's pretty cool. Let's go Akira. We can be Akira. That'll do. Build. This is like a general build. You can actually you can pretty much play as a kid, which makes some situations very interesting. I'll say that. But yeah, there's more choices. We can actually go into it. You can make yourself like a dwarf, a little old man caster dude. But generally, I kind of go with the like the first type of body shape, really. And then voices. I think this one's pretty good. Yeah, I'll go that one. And then that's just a basic like what do you call it? Like a pre-made one, but you can actually go in and make more detailed edits. Preset faces. These are just the presets one, but you can really mess around with all the options on it. Hairstyles, quite a few different hairstyles, and if you're that way inclined, you can actually give your males female haircuts and vice versa. So yeah, if you want to have a real I guess childish playthrough, then you can really mess with your character and make them yeah, we could have a badass two-handed sword wielding pigtailed dude rocking around the world. But yeah, I think I might go the sleazy. Is that like, that's like a sleazy dude haircut? I think we'll pick that one, huh? Yeah, face shape, eye color, all that stuff. I pretty much only mess with the eye color and the hair color and stuff. I really like to put myself into the games, because games to me are escapism. So, well, you know, of course I'm going to give myself more muscles and less fat and things like that. But yeah. So height, I am about 194 centimeters in real life, so let's go that. Your height and weight actually do change your stats in the game. So the heavier your character, the more weight you can carry, the more stamina you use while you're actually the longer it takes to regen your stamina, and but the less stamina consumption you have, and it's the opposite end for lighter characters. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we don't really need to bother that much. Let's make him ripped out. Let's make it realistic, all right? Yeah, that's realistic. That looks exactly like me. But you can make some really, really odd-looking characters. If you're totally into like the Dark Souls, big orange face, messed up body proportions, you can do that stuff on here, and it's pretty fun actually. But I usually like to go for some half serious looking characters at least. Let's change his hair color. Oh look, it's the spitting image of me. Look at that. He's slightly less muscular than me, but you know, we'll let it pass for now. I got to give him a sick beard, because all real men have sick beards like me, or half-assed ones where I can't grow it here. Anyway, can we give ourselves makeup as well? Does that work on the dudes? Let's try it out. We can give him some rouge, bit of lipstick there, make him a Kefka or something. Eyeshadow and everything. We can be in My Chemical Romance. Good shit. And we can poop on our face. That's pretty good. Yeah, so there's heaps of different options. So you can really tailor the character to kind of be how you want them to be. It's a really good system. I like it. But that being said, most of the game you're going to have like a helmet on or a heaps of armor. So, yeah. Anyway, welcome to everybody in the chat. I'm sorry I've been neglecting it. Holy crap, there is a lot of stuff going on in chat. Are you guys squabbling? Are you two girls in a tiff? What's going on? There's me. Look at him. Ugh. Man, what a glorious bastard that is. We're here in the starting town, which is Casadas, I think it's called. This game is an old game, so the graphics, I think they look good, but they're no means like cutting edge. It is a remaster of a game. Oh, look at this hottie. We get a bit of volume, huh? For the grand entrance. It's the dragon! Rick, I believe it's $30 American, I believe. Oh, here's a dragon. Cool, man. Oh, it's been so long. Into it. So this game too, if we are added as friends, we can actually hire each other's pawns, which I'll talk about a bit later, for free. So I'll leave my PSN down below and maybe we can swap pawns and things like that. Bam! Toasty! Yeah, and we're right into it, fighting a massive ass dragon. And you can grapple and you can climb all over all these enemies, and it is really epic. You totally get the sense that you're a tiny little dude facing this massive dragon. It's so good. Oh! Ouch. It's the... Oh man, I have subtitles turned on. I don't think you can see the subtitles for that one. Oh, what a great scene, man. Welcome to Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, so good. This is what I originally said I returned the game because I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. But in those days after I returned it, I was like, I just kept on thinking about this fight and the tutorial fight, and I was like, that is epic, man. I really want to get in there and do this stuff. He is a handsome, handsome man. I'll tell you that. Hmm. So the dragon wants us to challenge him, I think. So right off the bat, we get to choose our vocation. I will be doing vocation guides soon enough. I'm just really busy at the moment, so I'm trying to get heaps done. I've got a guide right now ready to upload, and I'll be doing a couple more guides today, and then I'll go and get onto vocations soon. It is time for you to begin your journey as Arisen, but before you can win your heart back from the dragon, you'll need to prepare. Oops. And your vocation determines your basic attributes, wieldable equipment, and skills. Also, depending on what you choose, if you are that vocation and you level up in that vocation, you'll get stats based on your vocation. So later on in the game, we do get advanced vocations, which is like either you can go like a pure route, or you can kind of mix and weave. Like you can make a mystic knight, which is kind of like a mix between a mage and a fighter. So you have to think a little bit about what your end game wants to be. If you want to be a caster, you should level as a caster. Whereas if you want to be a mix of them between, maybe you can go a little bit of fighter, maybe a little bit of mage. You have to kind of, don't stress about it too much, but think about where you kind of want to end up. Strider's really good fun, but I like playing it as a fighter. They have a good balance of strength and tanking. Plus it means that I can be a fighter and tank when I can make my pawn a mage, so they can take care of all the elemental stuff. So I'm going to do that. So the fighter is a sword and board, like shield and sword kind of basic stock knight character. The strider has daggers and also can use bows a lot. The fighter cannot use ranged weapons at all apart from throwing items. So yeah, if you want a bit of range and a bit of daggers but with lighter armor, then the strider might be for you. And the mage is purely spells, healing spells, damaging spells, a bit of everything, buffs as well. So yeah, I personally like the fighter, so I'm going to go with the fighter. You can equip yourself with primary and a secondary weapon. Primary weapons such as swords and daggers are combat essentials. Secondary weapons like bows and shields offer support. And let's go.
You say it left a glowing scar?
Yes. The wound has closed, and it seems the worst has passed, but his heart lies silent.
It's gone.
If you would face me. You are sure of this?
Yes.
Ill magic, the work of some curse. The whole world's already gone mad for fear of this dragon. Won't no good come of this. I must go see to the others, Kina.
Kina.
Tell me if aught changes here.
All right.
Kina is also the name I've been calling her Quina or Kina from Final Fantasy IX, the frog-eating chick. We are tall. We are really tall. Anyway, no time for you, woman. Defeating foes and completing quests earns you experience, and each level gained raises all of your attributes. Press options to bring up the pause menu. We know about that. And here we are in the starting village. Casadus. Okay, so I'm going to use this opportunity to have a little look over chat and see how it's going, and welcome some people in. G'day to all the Moogles there in chat. If you want to be a Moogle, you can sponsor the channel. We're all Moogles inside, aren't we? Sorry for being late, by the way. I started about 15 minutes late. I was trying to encode a guide on Dragon's Dogma, but I'll go over the guide pretty much with you guys now. So, hello to Kefka, Life Frog, Jackie M, Rinshu. Who else we got? Crash Gaming, hello. Gray, Shrikant, hey mate. Rinshu again, Jefferson, Delima. Who else? Carl, hello mate. There's too many. Sorry if I missed anyone out. King Rat, hey man. Noella, how are your kitten farts going today? And it's Anna Manajubi, hello mate. Oh, Rhea Roberts, thank you very much for the sponsorship, Rhea. Thank you very much. I said it at the start of the video, but thank you. It means a lot, and the support will really help the consistency of my channel. So yeah, if there's anyone I missed out, oh, Septimus, Master Chief, I'm sorry if I missed anyone out. I'm really sorry. Ouroboros, hello mate. Ouroboros, I don't know if it has a data transfer. I doubt it would. I seriously doubt it would. Yeah, only trophies, maybe. I don't really know, mate. So anyway, here we are in the starting village. I did do a guide on this, and I will be releasing it in pretty much right after this video. But with Dark Arisen, it was an expansion, so they kind of released a few like DLC items with it, and we get them free just by getting this. So what you want to do at the very start of the game is, shut up, buddy. Come down to the inn, which is here, Pablo's Inn, and there's actually a few items in the, like in our storage or our storehouse that we can pick up. I didn't actually know this. I played through nearly the whole game and didn't even realize this. But anyway, if you go to withdraw, you actually have some or life stones that are used for the Bitter Black Isle, which we'll go into a bit later. You also have this thingy, which we'll go into a bit later. But the really big things is you get some equipment here. The monocle has 2 uses. You can wear it or you can sell it, and we'll be selling it. But the Tiara of Enlightenment is pretty good. The Jester's Cap is ridiculous. It looks god-awful, but it has good stats. We also get a few pieces of armor, which are really very good at the start of the game. Some armor and some rings. So if you're struggling at the start, try this out. It's not really cheating. I mean, it's all there for you, but it's definitely going to give you a bit of an advantage at the start of the game. So I usually wear the Tiara. As you can see, like, it gives you 20 defense. It's really, really good at the start of the game. You can't beat it, actually. So chuck the Tiara on because I am a pretty princess. And the great thing about this armor too, most classes can wear it, apart from this robe, which is more a mage robe. But we are going to wear the Vagabond armor, and also a cool like gauntlet thing, like a gladiator's gauntlet, which has awesome stats on it as well. Heaps of defense, so going to help us out heaps. And also these rings will enhance a skill of each different class. So the fighter is the Blink Strike and the Burst Strike. So we're going to equip that one. And then these ones are for the Strider and the Mage class, but they don't really apply to us. So now that you've picked up the monocle, that's just talking about equipment, you can come across to the shop here. Shut up, buddy. And then sell the monocle. That's what I like to do. It is pretty good, but it's not that good that I would keep it in lieu of the gold, because the gold is crazy amount. You can see at the moment we only have 2,000 gold, so not much at all. But we can sell the Ruminator's monocle for 312,000 gold, which is a huge amount. Like that should be pretty much enough to get you through like the whole game almost. So it is crazy good. Very, very good. I thought they would have actually taken it out, but it's still here. So good shit. Get it done. 314,000 gold already, which the game is actually, if you're playing on normal, can be pretty hard the first time you play it. So this might be a pretty good boon to you, really, because the game can be quite hard. So definitely need some healing items. Lanterns is actually very important. You will want a lantern, because when it gets dark, it gets goddamn dark, like very dark. Pickaxe too is important. Airtight flasks, there's food that can actually spoil in this game. So you actually have to, meats and things like that, you have to keep in an airtight flask. Empty flasks, you can fill your flask with like healing water or different resources around the map. So it's pretty involved when you get into it. So I'm going to buy a better sword, which I wouldn't have been able to unless I had have sold that monocle before. So it helps you out big. With your upper body, you can actually get shirts and then armor. So you can wear under armor and armor. There's 2 different slots for your upper body. So I'll buy that one. I'll also grab some no, I won't do that actually. And for your lower body, you've got pants and then you've got shoes. So there's two things on that as well. And we'll grab a cloak as well, and she's got no rings for sale. So there you go. I was able to buy a heap of stuff, and which I wouldn't usually be able to do. So yeah, I don't know if pawns start with the lantern. No, it's been a while, so I couldn't really tell you. Let's check on that shirt. As you can see, next to my character on the left, we've got 2 slots. One is for your shirt or the clothing, and one is for the armor. And the same thing for the pants. So we got clothing and then armor. So it gives you quite a bit of variation and room to play around with. I look pretty mismatched and not that great at the moment, but the armor at the end of the game looks wicked. It looks hella good. There's some really good armor combinations you can get. Okay, let's buy a pelter as well. Helter pelter. I think we're good. Yep, we're good enough for now anyway. Let us equip stuff. Oh, goddamn. Equipment. The UI could be a little bit better, but otherwise it does what it needs to, and it's not really that intrusive. So I'm also going to... A good thing about selling the monocle, you can buy a lot of Throw Blast. And Throw Blast is very, very good if you want to be a bit of a sneaky person and kill some things that you shouldn't really be killing this early. I'm going to take a crap load of them because we can afford them and they are very, very good. You can use them to level and we can Dragon Forge our items.
They look the part, sure enough, but they lack the will, the spark, what drives us. They have no capacity to feel nor act alone, so they live as sellswords. Myrmidons, they're called.
Myrmidons, I love that word.
There's an encampment west of the village where men gather to face the dragon. I'd wager a fair number of his kind will be there as well. Why don't you take him? Might be you learn aught of why he came to you in the first place.
Before leaving, visit the store to make sure your apples are...
So, okay, this is just telling us about the quest icons and what they mean. Basically, if people have icons over their head, they'll give you a quest. The pawns tend to talk a lot. I hope they've changed it a little bit. Sometimes they talk too much. I hope they've tweaked it. The pawns actually give you good information. Like when you're coming up against goblins or a new enemy or something, they'll say, he's weak to fire, or watch out for his big spell or something. They'll actually give you... Yeah, there you go. They'll actually give you feedback on quests and things like that. And the pawns actually learn, as you do more stuff with them, they'll actually learn from you and learn about quests. If you complete a quest with them, sometimes they go, I learned more about this quest. And if another person hires your pawn out, and they do that quest, the pawn will actually give them advice on how to finish the quest. So it's a really great system. It's really intuitive and just great. I like it. Let's save the peddler. G'day, peddler. Boom. So you don't start off with many skills or anything, but we'll pick them up as we go. My pawn's enchanting my weapons, which is really important later on too. Actually, it's important the entire game. Take that, you buddy. I've got it on easy, so the fights are going to be quite easy to start off with. Try gaining levels or obtaining better equipment if they're too hard. And yeah, he doesn't really seem that thankful, but anyway. But the world in this game is one of the things that really sell it, because it's really quite expansive. You can't do much when it comes to water, and we'll find out in a second, but the world looks really quite good, and it's all interconnected. The map is massive, and for the most part you'll be trudging around on foot, but it's not really that much of a burden. You also get fast travel a little bit later on, but at the start of the game it's all on foot, which can be hard when you're managing your stamina, but generally it's not that big of a problem. But there's heaps of treasure around the place. All over the shop you can find treasure. Like on the ground there's resources as well. There's a bit of crafting in this game. There's heaps of different items you can pick up and then combine them together to make different potions and things like that as well. So for the water, you can actually get a debuff if you get into the water. You get a drenched debuff. There you go. Drenched, which I'll take more damage from ice spells and lightning spells, of course. But there's also a mechanic that lets you not go into the water. So if you go too deep into the water, whoop, see that? If you keep going in there, the redness, I forgot the name of it actually, will actually consume you and kill you. So it's a little bit better than having invisible walls, I suppose, but it's a way of keeping you kind of keeping you in line, basically, without just putting a big-ass invisible wall there for you. So, I appreciate that. Oh, we need one of those. So, the big thing with this game is stamina management, and if you run out of stamina, it's not good. So, you can see we're low at the moment. If we keep on running and expend that stamina, we start running slow, and when we stop, we have to stop and catch our breath. So, if you do that in the middle of a battle, you're dead, basically. So... yeah, you got to keep an eye on that. It can be I find it slightly annoying, the stamina, a little bit, but you can get juice that makes you not expend stamina and restore stamina and things like that. So there's heaps you can do to get around it. Anyway, let's head up to the encampment, and I think we'll get a pretty epic fight soon too. So we'll check that one out. I don't know how you guys are feeling about the game so far, but I love this game. You just have to give it a little bit to kind of get into the flow of it and all, but yeah. All right, so we got to go after the voice. And now we can actually create our pawn, I believe. No, that comes up in a little bit. But there's a rift stone which we use for summoning pawns in, and it'll actually play a pretty heavy role in everything a little bit later on. There's Mercedes, I think her name is. Ah, brine. That's the name of that red stuff in the water. Thanks. I totally forgot. It'd just be funny to introduce yourself. It's like, I'm part of the Pawn Legion, and then you'd have to spell it out. Maybe not in these old days, but in the new days you would definitely. All right. Okay. They're going to test me. So they're going to test us to see that we're worthy of summoning pawns. I've proven many times before in my personal life that I can summon all the pawn that I like. Thus is the power of the internet. Hey, g'day Sarah Hips. Oh, your boyfriend's playing as well? Good stuff. You guys can trade pawns. You can, if you're friends on PlayStation Network, you can freely swap pawns or trade pawns, which should be pretty good. The Hydra fight took you 2 hours, Carl? You might have been doing something wrong, maybe? The game sound might be a little bit low. Just let me know how you feel. Got a big ass Cyclops here. He's punched his own dude. Okay, so epic. So if I wanted to be a tank, I could actually use shield summons, which is a taunt, and get the attention of the enemies. And then I can get my pawn to cast spells and things like that. We'll take care of them, and then we'll climb this dude. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but anyway. So your stamina depletes pretty quickly if you're getting shaken around like this. I'll try and get on his head. I think we're going to run out of stamina. Yeah, oh well. There we go, we brought him down anyway. And then once they're down, you can smash their face or their weak spots. Took his horn off there. Leveled up too. Good stuff. So the enemies, if you get the right tactics, they can actually be quite easy. But if you're not prepared and you don't have the right elements, they can be really hard and punishing. But he was pretty easy because my pawn was smart enough to attack his legs and bring him down. Ooh, who's that? Okay. So you saw there too, I broke off his tusk. So breaking off different parts of the enemy will actually give you different items that you can use to craft weapons and curatives and stuff like that. So item gathering is a big thing in this. There's his corpse, which is cool. It's like an Attack on Titan or something like that. Yeah, I really like this game. I like all the mechanics and stuff around it, so... Okay, I'll change the audio a little bit. Let me know if it's too loud or too soft or anything like that. I'll try and keep it adjusted. I can't get good feedback on my end, so I need it coming from you guys. These are actually other players. In a lot of regards, a lot of people walking around are actually other players' pawns. So you can be out on the road and see a weird looking dude in some armor and go up to them, and they're actually another player's pawn, and you can hire them as well. So really cool way. As long as you're playing on online mode, you can do that. Echbel, located at the command headquarters of the encampment, provides many different support functions to adventurers. He can actually teach us different skills and vocations. So he's an inn, but you can also learn and set skills here. So we can learn different moves on our Arisen, and it's determined by the rank of your class. So you can level up your character and you can level up your vocation as well. You've got a character level and a vocation rank as well. So you can learn all different moves from here. Say we'll go broadcut. And all the different classes will have different skills, like active skills. And then if you go to augments, then you have like passive skills that you can take across between the different classes and kind of make hybrid classes out of it. And you can assign different skills. We've got 3 skills that we can assign to our sword attacks, and then 3 skills we can assign to our shield attacks as well. And then there's our augments. So it's a really good skill system as well. I think most of the systems in here are actually pretty good, and they're pretty spot on. So let's get some porno happening. The trial is complete. We are in Arisen, and now we can select a companion for our journey. So the pawn that we're about to make follows the same rules as your main character. So their height and their weight is going to impact on how much they can carry, what vocation they have, and stuff like that. This will be our main pawn. So the other pawns we can hire, they can die, we can lose them, but our main pawn will always come back to us. So this is the one we're going to spend time with throughout pretty much the entire game. So I usually make it a woman, and I am going to make it, let's make it my wife. Let's do that. Oh, shit. Actually, if I make it my wife and then throw her off a cliff, that's not very good, is it? Anyway, we'll go with it. Let's call her Minky. That'll do. Hello, Minky. What can her moniker be? Can we have wifey? Oh, we'll call her Valkyrie. That'll do. That's a good name. What does she look like? A person. Do we have an Asian here? My wife is Korean, so yeah, that is definitely not my wife. But yeah, as you can see, the armor is kick-ass. Like, that's a very late game armor, but it's good stuff. Usually I have a caster as my pawn. I like the base of her, so I'll use her. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. We'll go for that one. Whatever, that'll do. Make more detailed edits. I might change your... I think that's not too bad. We'll go change the hairstyle, maybe. Ooh, wavy. I like it. Where's some... Oh, she looks kind of plain. Anyway, I won't spend too much... Let's go pigtails. I won't spend too much time on this, because when I actually do my full playthrough, it'll probably be a little bit different. But that'll do for now. Continue. But I believe later on in the game you can get items that'll change your appearance, so don't stress about it too hard. So these questions, they'll ask you different questions, and it'll determine your stats of your pawn or how they behave in different situations. Your pawn does learn from you, and it does get habits and behaviors. So generally no two pawns will really be the same depending on what you do. When faced with danger, which trait would you most value in a follower? I kind of like my follower to be like a kind of healer role. So usually I'll do like, you know, the careful preparation or something like that. And then as you choose them, it might see it influences the pawn inclination on the in the middle there. While in battle, which strategy would you prefer for your follower to employ? Rescue comrades in danger. So I wanted to, if I fall over or my comrades fall over, she runs over and picks them up. Your follower rescues your party and turns the tide of the entire battle. What would you have them say? Now Master, strike the final blow, I think is kind of like a supportive one. This way Master, kind of they take the leadership role, or leave them to me, you know, so, or to follow them up. And you can see each of the different options affecting the bars over there, so I'll make a kind of that way. As a ruler, which gift would please you the most? Excuse me. I think I'm gonna go perfect spouse because that's more of a like a protector type of role. So I'll do that. And we can choose a fighter, strider, or mage. We're gonna make her a mage, so she has heal and buff spells and a bit of magic as well. So yeah, yeah. My wife is South Korean, and she is, well, I think she's a hottie. I don't know if everyone else does, but I don't care. I like her. Our pawn is coming out of the rift here. Wang! And she bears the same scar that we have in our chest. Now, oh.
Is sworn to you, Arisen. From this day, the Legion's men called pawns live and die by your command.
I look kind of regal. I like it. I look like I have a sock puppet on my arm though. I'm like, tss, tss, I'm a snake. So, hey, I got a trophy as well. Having been recognized as Arisen, you have been granted a loyal pawn to be your constant companion in your journey. In addition to this main pawn, you may hire up to 2 other pawns to support you in your adventures. Different pawns have different strengths, so use support pawns to tailor your party to fit your current needs. In addition to mining levels and available skills, a pawn's knowledge is another important part of creating an effective party. Pawns with appropriate knowledge of quests or foes can provide useful or helpful information or advice about battle strategies. So they'll give you a lot of feedback, sometimes too much, and you're like, dude, just shut up. But otherwise, they give you some really important, like, elemental weaknesses or strengths or something like that. This guy can actually die. If he dies and we leave him behind, that's it. We have to hire him again. But Minky will always be constant. And if we ever lose her or she dies or whatever, you just have to come back to the Riftstone and activate the Riftstone and she'll pop back in for us. So, yeah. Now, this is the... Wow, I never considered... when I first played this wasn't much of a thing. But this is the Pawn Hub. If yeah, don't type that in your browser if anyone's around. So anyway, at the Pawn Hub, you can actually hire. These are actually players' pawns, so you can actually go up to them at the moment because they're low level and they're around our level. You can hire them. You can see their cost is 0 RC, whereas I only have 9 RC or Rift Crystals. As you play the game, you'll get way more Rift Crystals, but the higher level the character you want to hire, or the better they are, the more Rift Crystals they're going to cost. So, yeah, at the moment we can pretty much hire them all. And they actually have a really good search function as well. So if you go over here, they're also top ranked. People can recommend pawns, or there's different things that kind of set them aside as great pawns. Great pawns. So this is sorting them by online ID, also secondary skills, so you can look at what skills they have. If you want a healer, so she has Anodyne, which is a good heal, Haildom, High Grapnel, stuff like that. You can see what skills they have. Vocation, like their job, and just general their cost. So you can see the cost goes up very high with the higher their levels are. So yeah. What else? So say we pick a few pawns, we want that. We'll get a few of these guys in, a good mix, and just check them out. So once you've done that, you can go back and exit menu. And those pawns that we just selected, you'll actually see them walk in from the mist. It's just summoning them now, but you'll actually see them. There's one walking in now. See, that's one of the ones we summoned. So you can actually look at them and say, oh, do I want that chick? She looks kind of cool. She's got a good weapon on her and things like that. But if you actually add people on your PlayStation Network, if you're friends, you can trade pawns for free. So if you've got a higher level player, say your friend has rushed through and he's got all the equipment, he's got a really high pawn, you can actually hire your friend's pawn for free. So it's a really big advantage of adding friends on it. And I'll actually give out my PSN once I have a bit bigger, once my level's a bit higher. But in the meantime, if you go to, sorry, I'll just get a link up for you guys. If you go to the Dragon's Dogma Reddit, they'll actually have a board on there where you can request to trade different pawns and what you want in a pawn, and you can actually trade items between them with those pawns as well. So it's a really good social networking experiment, I think. But yeah, definitely check out the Dragon Dogma Reddit page, because that'll give you a heap of foot up, because the pawns can really change the way you play your game. If you handle your pawns right, it'll make the game a whole heap easier. But let's move on. I know it's a lot of explaining that I've done so far. I hope you don't feel overwhelmed, but once you get in the game, it just comes to you, like, you know, you pick it up pretty naturally.
Mind you, that is a skill better honed in practice than in the heat of mortal combat. I can help in that.
This guy's going to give us some training, which is very, very basic. You actually have to do it, which is a bit annoying, but anyway. We're just going to knock over some targets, and then I'm going to fight a big-ass enemy, and we're probably going to call the stream around about then. How long do I think a playthrough of this game is going to be? I honestly can't remember, but if you're going to do everything, like absolutely everything, it'll be like 20, 30 hours plus, I would say, quite easily. If you're going to do everything, it would be easy 50 hours, I would imagine. There's also a dragon each week. Once you get far enough in the game, there's a dragon that I think it's every week, the conditions of him change slightly, and you have to work together as an online community to bring down the dragon. Not like play with people, but we'll go into it at a later date, but it is a pretty good system. As far as I know, you don't need PlayStation Plus for any of the online components for this as well, so that's a good blessing. It really is. Okay, so we just had to take these boxes over this little swirly thing here. There we go. Enough! Alright, buddy. I don't really want to deal with you, but anyway. He's pretty much just saying good shit. That's about it. We'll take down these targets. But yeah, we haven't been able to see much of it yet, but your pawns tend to be over talkative sometimes. Yeah, like that. Sometimes you can be fighting, they're like, hurry, Arisen, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, you should do this, and you're like, dude, just shut up, alright? Enough! It's not too bad when you're fighting a new, cool enemy, but when you're fighting the same ones over and over, they keep giving you advice, you're like, dude, please. I think the blue ones you have to take from behind, maybe? And we actually get levels for doing this stuff, but anyway. We'll see if you can use, if you press L1, you get out your secondary skills and then primary skills as well. There you go, shield summons. Didn't really need to do that, but anyway. I think this is the last test, actually. The spells in this game are really quite cool too. Enough! Alright. Now we got a cool ass boss. King Rat, you have 4,000 hours? I can see that, man. On the PC, you can mod it as well, so there's a lot more to do in that regard. Sorry if I'm missing chat. I'm usually pretty good with chat, but there's just so much I want to talk about and explain. I can't really focus because my brain power is limited in that regard. So let's go see Mercedes. I think it's Mercedes, yeah. I'm lead of the enlistment corps. I think everything in this game is voiced as well, for the majority. Well, it matters not.
I'll welcome any help, be it pawn, arisen, farmer, or fishwife. Make use of the encampment as you please. Are you in need of rest?
Let's rest. And then we'll see what happens in the morning, huh? So this has a day-night cycle as well. And when it gets to night, it is pitch black. You need a torch, you really do. You're straining to see. So, you really have to consider that. And different enemies come out at night as well. Oh! Huh! The first time I fought this guy, I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. But he is a Hydra, so... Let's climb up on him. Oh. Generally the climbing's pretty good, but if the camera angle shifts, it can be a bit hard. Let's cut his head off, huh? Oh, let's get off. Our stamina's about to run out. It's very important you don't use all of your stamina. It's really important. Oh, the music's pretty epic too. Little snacky there. G'day, snacky. Oh. Oh, dude, not the best camera angle right now. Oh, he just swallowed something. You saw it go all the way down his neck. Huh. There we go. Boom. I don't know how I cut it that clean, but anyway. Awesome, man. Wicked. That was the same mark that was on the Cyclops' head. I am impressed.
It's your handiwork? For true? Oh, what is the lack of an idol doing here anyway?
Ancient tales of the Arisen are well and good, friend. But make a gift of these heights to the Duke, and you might earn yourself a real title.
Cool.
Arisen. I see. With judgments, in any case, I'd hope
So I'm just going to skip over this bit. I'll come back and do it again later.
it will be slow going.
Basically, she wants us to escort the head to the capital city and show the Duke, so we can kind of get recognition of it. There we go. See, the pawn said I've just gained quest knowledge. So if someone else hires my pawn now and does that quest, and they're like, man, I don't know what to do. How can I beat this guy? The pawn will say, quick, cut its head off, or something along those lines. So it's really, really quite cool in that regard. Anyway, I have so much to do right now. I've got a guide to upload. I'm going to upload a guide in the next 10 or 15 minutes or so for this game. And then I'm going to start working on my vocation guides and my advanced vocation and how to get overpowered items early and heaps of stuff. Time permitting, of course, because I actually go to the EB Expo this weekend. So the weekend's going to be full as. It's actually pretty good to be busy. So good stuff. Just looking over the chat. Gino, it's not early access. It's actually out. It should be out over the entire world, apart from, I think, is it Iceland, or there's a European country that doesn't have it yet, but it should be worldwide at the moment. So yeah. Is there any other questions or anything in regards to this? I should be playing also for any of the Final Fantasy IX fans. I'm doing a playthrough of that at the moment. I'll be doing that tonight or within about 12 hours or so. I'll be doing that one again, and also in about an hour or two, I'll be covering the Final Fantasy 15 timed quest for today. So it's going to be a hella busy day, and hopefully you guys are going to be around to watch it. Oh, the US doesn't have it yet. Vortex 69. Okay, it must be because of the way the PSN updates. But anyway, here it is. And for anyone wondering, I believe it is capped at 30 FPS, but it does look quite good. It doesn't. It may sound weird, but it doesn't feel like a 30 FPS game. It actually feels pretty smooth and pretty fast. So I'm quite impressed with the whole thing. I think it is a really good purchase, and for $30, I'll also show you, you get an awesome dynamic theme as well. So we got the dragon being all dragony there. You get that theme if you pre-ordered it. So yeah, you've still got time to do it. So nab it. There we go. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I will be back at a later date, but if you did like this stream, please leave a thumbs up. If you got any comments or suggestions, then please leave them down below. Let me know if you're excited for this game, if you're playing it. We can also trade information and then trade pawns. Trading pawn is it's good for the soul. And if you haven't subscribed already, then please do so. This has been Lemon Eating Cow. See you next time, guys. Oh, also, before I go, Rhea Roberts, thank you very much for the sponsorship. You are a champion. And, yeah, thank you very much. Moo, moo, moo. Moo. See you later, guys. I'll see you next time. I'll see you soon, actually.